Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this channel, Coding with Vignesh. And as you know, we are conducting a mock interview series. As part of that, today we are covering Java mock interview. And we have with us Jitendra. Welcome, Jitendra, to the mock interview.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll start with an introduction. So, Jitendra, can you talk about yourself, like maybe about your work and projects briefly?
Okay. So, my name is Jiten Pal. I am from Indore, Madhya Pradesh, and then I joined Infosys as a system engineer now, and I have a total 2+ year of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And just currently, I'm working in Java-related projects like Core Java, Spring Boot, microservices,
Mm-hmm.
Kafka, the other project. And recently, just I worked on the one Spring Boot application, which is the Qeats food ordering app. That allow users to browse and browse the food browse they can food from nearby restaurants, so
Mm-hmm.
just we implemented some core logic in Spring Boot application
Mm-hmm.
and just improve the performance under the load scenarios and just implemented advanced search feature. So yeah, this kind of functionality we
Got it.
implemented
Got it. Yeah.
in that.
Sure. Thanks for that intro, Jitendra. So maybe we'll let the next step would be like we'll try to understand since it is a Java round, right? I just want to know like what are all the maybe libraries and parts of the Java you have touched in your coding. Can you talk about that?
Libraries, yeah, like collections
Mm-hmm.
and Jackson library. I used Jackson collections
Mm-hmm.
libraries use I have in the
And how,
project.
how about threads? Like, have you touched threads anytime?
Yeah, just not much in deep, but yeah, and like I know threads and yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Maybe then we can get started. So we'll discuss some Java questions in this round as we discussed. So I'll start with some basics of Java. So since you told you have already worked on collections, right? Do you know the difference between set and list?
Yeah, set and list. Basically, list can have duplicate elements, but set contains only unique elements.
Mm-hmm.
And list, yeah, unique element, and we can say this is the difference, man. And
So
other than
yeah. So how about the ordering of the elements? Like well set.
yeah, yeah. So basically, list maintains order, but set
Mhm.
doesn't maintain any order.
Got it. And
So these are two differences.
any idea? Like, do you know how set filters the duplicates? Any idea about that?
Hashing, like it uses hash,
Okay.
maybe. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying it uses hash. That's cool. And okay, we'll discuss one more comparison related thing. I hope you know about this array list and linked list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you talk like what is the difference between both?
So array list uses a dynamic array, while linked list uses linked list internally implementation. It uses doubly linked list.
Mm-hmm.
So when we initialize the array list, by default the memory size is 10. But in case of linked list, it's not. It's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
And in array list, like we can by index wise we can store the elements, but in linked list, the index concept is not there.
Okay. So like when you'll go for array list or when you'll go for linked list, do you have any examples?
uh, Linked list, like
Maybe I can give you a hint, like think in terms of performance. Like when you think linked list is performant versus array list or other way around.
like if you want to, like for if you want to add, like addition and like addition removal is easy in linked list,
Okay. So
but
you're
in
saying,
array, like it time complexity is much, like in case of array list,
okay. Okay.
but
Yeah.
index wise we can.
Hmm. Got it. Yeah, we'll continue. So we have covered the difference. Okay. And so do you know about this overriding and overloading concepts in Java?
Polymorphism concept, like
Correct.
Method overloading means just class have multiple methods,
Mm-hmm.
same name but different in parameters. So this is method overloading.
Mm-hmm.
And method overriding is the concept of redefining the base class method under the child class.
So
So
what does it
dynamic,
mean? Yeah, can you please explain a bit on that overriding part?
yeah, basically it provides runtime polymorphism. Like runtime, it will create the object in
Mm-hmm.
a method overriding, and in
Okay.
method overloading, basically we like it compile time the method like call to the method is resolved at the compile time. But in a case of method overriding, the call to the method is will be resolved at the runtime.
Okay. Got
This
it.
is the difference.
Got it. That's cool. And hmm. So do you know about exceptions? Like, have you used exceptions in your applications?
Ah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So do you know about this checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions?
Ah, so
Yeah.
basically checked exception, like we can like checked exception can be caught at during the compile time,
Mm-hmm.
like and like we can say like uh, file not found like that.
Okay.
These are the checked exception and unchecked exception that like the exception that are not caught at the compile time. It will be we can call like it will be caught by at a runtime like because index out of bound like and null pointer exception.
Hmm.
So divided by zero exception. So these are the like at the compile time the exception will go.
No, it's a runtime exceptions. Yeah.
Ha, runtime.
Yeah.
Right.
So can we catch this runtime exceptions?
Ha,
Okay, that's cool.
yes.
So in try catch, right, we have something called finally also, finally block.
Yes.
Do you know why we need the finally block?
So finary block basically is used for some critical, like for like we can say that for like necessary thing. Like suppose if there is a database connectivity is open and like exception occurs. So in case finary block will execute, whether like it will it can close the useful resources like database connectivity, whether
Mm-hmm.
the exception occurred or not. So in this case, finary block will be very helpful.
Okay.
Some to close the resources.
So to close the resources, finally block will be executed. Okay. So let's say I have a try catch and finally, and so is it always like finally will be executed, or there is an option we can skip the final execution also? Any idea?
A final block will always execute, but
Okay.
we can like if we call like system dot exit,
Hmm,
then only we can then we only like we will come out of that block
got it.
that will down.
So let's say there is a return statement in the try block. So will it
Sure. Okay.
return from try, or will it still finally will be executed?
No, final block will still execute. Like in case of return, it also execute.
Okay. Yeah. Just one thing, those who are checking this video, right? Just one advice is you can pause when we discuss the question. You can also try to answer yourself so that it will be helpful for your interviews. Yeah, we'll continue, Jitendra. So cool. So do you, okay, since you told you have basic understanding of threads, right? Like, do you know the different ways to create threads?
There are two ways we can create thread. Like first one, we are using the extending thread class and by implementing the renewable interface. So these are the two ways.
Okay. According to you, which is recommended among two?
So by implementing the renewable interface, it will like good for developers to create like implement like create the thread.
Why do you think so? Why it is beneficial?
Because we can like implement the interface and extend the class as well.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so these two things we can do. Wait, well,
So do you know like one class can extend how many classes at a time?
one class extend only one another class.
Yeah.
Because multiple inheritance is not supported by Java.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the
We can
reason.
execute.
runnable is recommended. Yeah.
Well, that's thing I am saying. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Cool. Um, have you heard about a keyword called volatile?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, volatile and synchronized. These, yeah, I
Correct.
have.
Correct. Yeah. So what is this volatile does? Do you know?
So basically, volatile keyword is used with the variables to like it will when we do any changes in that variable, so immediately all threads will able to see the effect like whatever we change. So the thread will not see the data from the cache thread. It will see the data from the main memory. This is
Okay.
the
So you're saying if one thread makes a change, so all the threads will
yeah.
get that
So all
value.
the threads will able to see the changes immediately.
Okay. So let's say I have a function where I'm having maybe an int I, integer type I, and I'm doing an increment operation I plus plus. So in this case, can I use volatile?
We can use volatile.
Okay. So it will ensure the count accuracy.
We can say that.
Okay, cool. That's fine. And you talked about synchronized also, right? Like, can you talk about that? Like, why do you need synchronized?
Synchronize is used in multi-threaded environment. Basically, one thread can access that particular code at a time. So the data inconsistency problem will not occur in multi-threaded environment.
Got it.
So that's why synchronize is used.
So, in case of synchronized, there are two things. I mean, you can use synchronized keyword on method as well as on block. Do you know about that? Okay. So, do you know the
Synchronize block.
Yeah, please
Uh,
continue. Mhm.
we there are two types basically synchronized block and synchronized method
Mhm.
also is there. So synchronized block is basically specifically like a particular for a particular block. We
Mhm.
are just restricting that one thread can use at a time. But method or whole method we are just providing a lock to the like one like at a time only one thread will use that particular method.
Okay.
This is
So,
the
sorry, what happens with the block? Can you please come one more time?
So block means for like for a specific block we are just locking na like one
Mm.
thread will able to use that block. But in
Mm.
method we are just we are locking the whole method.
Mm. 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 So, what is the advantage of block over method?
Yeah. So suppose if we do say lock in a block, so suppose there is some information that needs to be executed. So in a
Mm-hmm.
method, so if we
Mm.
use a particular block, then other threads can use the information what it can take.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So we covered synchronized block. That's fine. And do you know what the sleep wait methods?
Ah, these are the method. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between sleep and wait?
Difference sleep and wait. Sleep just basically we can current thread will not like it will be paused. Current thread will be paused for some specific time.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep when in sleep method we provide some time like 1 second, 5 seconds, whatever. And wait basically wait just current thread will go for waiting time until the another thread use the invoke. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, notify method. Then it will resume.
Okay. Cool. In case of sleep, you're saying we can specify some time and thread will sleep.
Thread will sleep for a particular time.
Okay. Cool. Um, that's fine. So you talked about notify also, right? Do you know about the method notify and notify all? There are two
Huh.
methods.
So notify method will like invoke only one thread, which is waiting,
Mm-hmm.
which is in wait state,
Mm-hmm.
and notify all will invoke all the threads that are waiting to work.
Okay. Okay.
From
So
there they left.
got it. All right, got it. Cool. Maybe we'll move on to a little bit about Java 8 side. Like which version of Java you're using?
11.
Okay, that's good. So in Java 8, right, we have this streams API got introduced. Do you know the advantages of streams? Why do you think we have to use it?
Basically, Stream API for it reduces the lines of code, provide readability and good maintainability. So that's why Stream API is very useful for the developers to just manage the application.
Correct.
Simplicity provides simplicity.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Got it. Cool. So the next part is so along with streams, there is a concept called functional interface got introduced in Java. Do you know about that
Uh,
functional interface?
Functional interface is an interface that contains only one abstract method, and lambda function. Lambda function is the implementation of functional interface.
Lambda function is an okay, implementation of an okay. Cool. So one abstract method. Can it contain default and static methods, any numbers in any number?
See, in functional interface contains default method and static method, no problem. But only one abstract method should be there. Then okay.
Okay,
If it is any another method, then it will be create problem. It will not functional interface.
got it. So do you know any built-in functional interfaces
Built-in functional interfaces.
in Java?
Uh, ah,
Can
like
you
uh,
give some examples?
like uh, uh, clonable, runnable.
Okay.
I think.
So, okay. So you're saying these are all function interfaces in Java. Okay. Let's move on. Do you know this final keyword?
Final, yes.
Hmm. This like why do you need final keyword? Do you know?
So final keyword, we can use final keyword with the variable, method, and class
Mm-hmm.
in three. Like if you are using final keyword with variable, then it will this variable will be act as a constant and we can't change it. And if we are using with the method, then we can't override that method. And if we are using finalize with the class, then we can't like inherit that class for restricting like the
Cool.
things in Java.
So you told class part or else. Do you know like immutable classes?
String is immutable class because string has some
Yeah.
got some features. That's why string is class final.
So string is immutable, you said no? What it means? Like, can you explain a bit on that?
String is immutable. That means if we create the any string, then we can't change it. Like we can't modify it. We can't change. Let's suppose string str is if we create literal string str
Mm-hmm.
like hello, yeah, whatever the name is, then if we add or if we do any operation, then it will create another. It will not change that particular object.
Okay.
This means immutable.
Okay. So you're saying, let's say string, let's say str hello is there. That's the first string. And if I do maybe s plus word, so will it create hello world new string or will it update the original string s?
It will create new. It will not modify
Okay.
that
So
previous.
so you're saying in the memory there will be two copies, like hello is there and
Uh,
hello world is also there.
yeah, we can say that because there is a concept of SCP string constant pooling inside the heap area.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a concept. So yeah,
Okay. Hmm. So any idea about design patterns? Like,
ah, yeah, I know.
have you used
So
any?
design patterns.
Yeah.
So pattern is a general approach to solve a particular problem, software engineering problem. Some
Mm-hmm.
design patterns are Singleton, abstract factory design pattern, and we can say that observer design pattern, adapter. These are the various design pattern we use in.
Got it.
software engineering.
Got it. So would you be fine to implement one singleton pattern? Like can you write it in maybe Notepad or any other editor? Are you comfortable? Okay, maybe
Notepad
do
I
one
can.
thing. Yeah, maybe you can open Notepad and share your screen, and maybe you can just design a simple singleton class. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, sure. Sure.
Try to continue.
Okay. So suppose there is a class. So there will be one instance like public
Mm-hmm.
static we get. So for in singleton design pattern, we have a variable which will that will be static, which will
Mm-hmm.
return the and okay, initially it is null
Mm-hmm.
because we are employing.
So the static variables, right? Can I use a static variable in a non-static method? Any idea? Okay.
Static.
Yeah. And if
Actually,
you're not able to recall, it's fine. Maybe you can proceed.
like sometimes I have like static inside. I think we can use no.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you can continue your singleton creation. Is this done or
No, and method like they so the constructor will be like constructor should be private in singleton.
so what does it mean? Like constructor private means?
Constructor private means we can't like if it is private then we can't create another like out.
Jitendra, what you said, like with when constructor is private, what we can't do?
Constructor is private, like we can create only one single instance one time.
Are you sure? Like constructor is private, only one single instance we can create. Can we call the object creation, but basically a new of employee if the constructor is private?
Yeah, we can't call that particular object. That
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can proceed.
So constructor should be private and okay. And there is one method like public
Mm-hmm.
stick. So we are creating one method to get the object of the particular class.
So it's of type
Employee
static.
static, because static public static employee, and there is a method get employee.
So the static method, right? Do you know why we need it? Like, can't we make it as non-static?
Because we don't need to create object, we can simply call directly the
Okay.
class.
So the
That's why because
yeah, the static method is bound to a class or an object, do you know?
it is bound to the class, not object.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why we are using because hmm.
Sure. You
So
can continue.
if we are checking first, if
Mm-hmm.
emp is equal to null,
Mm-hmm.
first thing, minus 2. If it is null, then it will create instance.
Mm-hmm.
Emp is equal to new employee.
Yeah.
And we are returning that
Okay. Got it.
yeah.
So, is this thread safe, this code? Like, let's say
No,
if
it is
I,
it is not thread safe because multiple threads can create the object.
mm-hmm. So where is the problem you see? Like what condition or what flow will make two object creation and how we can avoid?
Like in multi-thread neural, suppose two threads is there, T1 and T2. So
Mm-hmm.
T1 enter and he checks EMP is null and
Mm-hmm.
it enter here, and before creation of the object another T2 came and it also check EMP is null. So it
Mm-hmm.
will again come and then both thread will create the object, so it will violating the singleton pattern.
Got
So
it.
we have to make it like thread safe, so we will use synchronize. We can use synchronize block or method both, so
So
depends on.
yeah, what is better according to you? Like in this in this use case, right? Will you
I
go?
think in this suppose in this cases we can use block, synchronize
Okay.
block.
Um, cool. Can you just improve your code, yeah, with the thread safety?
And synchronize block, it is requiring current object like this
Why,
asking,
why do we need that? Do you know?
means we are locking the current object, that's why using this current
But
block.
you are in a static method, right? Can you access this inside the static method?
Static method, okay.
Because this is basically points to an object, right? So
So
you
we
are,
use
hmm.
current employee. Yes.
What is employee means?
Employee means actually current object. Na synchronize in parameter. It asking for the like we at what object we are providing the synchronize.
Correct. So, but where is the employee object created actually to take a lock? You have not created the object yet, no?
Sorry, can you repeat what?
No, you have mentioned that employee, right? That's a class name. That's not an object name. And you are saying you will take lock on object. Object is not created. And you are in a static block. So ideally, you can't access an object inside the static block. I mean, you're almost there. Maybe if you want, I can just help you with that. Yeah.
Employee dot this, I think. Basically.
No, actually, you can use employee dot class, not this. You can take a lock on
Oh,
class because static method can have the access for the class, right? It's like bound to a class. Cool. So you're synchronizing, you're doing this. Okay. I mean, still we can do some more improvisation, but I have one more question. Okay. After that, maybe we can discuss the feedback. So can you just go down? I'll give you one, I mean, basically one instruction and no, the same file only. Just go down. Maybe after the last bracket, can you just
okay.
enter? Can you write final?
Final.
Yeah, final. Uh,
Okay.
integer array, int the square brackets, yeah, equals to maybe within the flower bracket, initialize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now, let's say, is this constant? You said final will make the object constant, no? Can I assume is it constant?
Ah,
Okay. So let's say if I do, can you just press and enter, go to the next line? If
okay.
I do array of maybe 2 is equals to 6. Do you know what will
Yes,
happen? Will it change or value will remain?
I think it should throw an error because array type is final.
Okay,
We can't change it.
cool, cool. Yeah, I think we are good. We are almost at the end. Maybe you can stop sharing. We'll discuss the overall journey and maybe we can wind up.
Okay.
Yeah. First of all, Jitendra, it was nice connecting with you. And definitely it was a good session, good interactive sessions. And overall, if you ask me, like you could perform well. Maybe here and there you missed some questions. I mean, answers were not fully correct. But at your experience, maybe it's fine because like at 2 years experience, nobody will expect you to know everything about Java. So yeah, overall, it was a good thing. Yeah, other than that, maybe like this, some practical things you can have to explore. For example, this final thing, no? Final with a variable works different way, and final with collection and array it works different way. So you should understand the nitty-gritties, and you should know what is final. Like final is on the value, or final is on the reference. You have to understand it. It's a basic thing I would say. So I mean, at your experience, it is perfectly fine. But what I would say is, whenever you're learning something, maybe you can spend a little more time to understand the internals also. So it will be helpful in longer run. I mean, at some places you could answer well. In some places, maybe little more depth was required. But as I said in the beginning, like at your experience, it is fine. But in order to grow in the ladder, it's good to know the basics, the internals of the stuff, so that like whenever some issue comes, you will be able to easily understand and provide some solutions. Otherwise, it is a good thing. Like at your experience, you have done a good job. So if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Okay. Like uh, means how can I just like improve the like my development skills in
Yeah.
Java?
Yeah. So development mainly it comes to the practice. Okay. So one is you can learn from your projects, whatever you are coding. Second is like you can try to implement maybe some real life projects or real time things. I mean, you can definitely get a lot of such examples. You can try to create a minimal version of it. Maybe, for example, you can try to mimic a WhatsApp, or maybe you can try to mimic an Instagram. So it need not be a full-fledged Instagram or WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter. It may be a minimal version of it. So you can just take some functionalities and try to implement by your own. So advantages like you will start thinking in terms of design aspects as well. I know at your experience, design may not be much important, but it will be useful in a long run. And if you sit in some design discussions, for example, you'll understand what they're discussing. So that way, like you will understand the different design concepts also. Along with that, you will learn about whole code structuring, API design, and how you have to design different. Maybe you can start with a single monolith. After that, maybe try to create your own simple microservices. Like you can write locally only, like have multiple microservices on different ports, and you can try to
Uh,
see how the interaction happens. With that way, like you can improve your coding practices. And other than that, like you can go for this open source contributions also. But sometimes it will become tricky. So main challenge with open source contribution is finding a right project, because it will be huge. Normally projects will be, so it's difficult to understand and contribute. So like if you really want to go for open source thing, then search for some simple open source or newer ones, so which will not have a very big code base or something. So then you can understand it easily and you can contribute. That's another way you can improve your coding skills. Yeah. Any other questions you have?
okay. No,
Okay, cool. Yeah, Jitendra, it was nice connecting with you, and definitely it was a useful session. I hope even the viewers will also get benefited. And definitely you're in the right direction. Just that little more fine tuning is required at some places, but otherwise you can crack Java around easily. Maybe, as I said, little more fine tuning, but so you have good understanding, because normally people will be using the basically. maybe libraries or functionalities without knowing the underlying concept. But you have done a good job. And those who are watching this video, and if you find this useful, please like and subscribe to our channel, and check out other videos also for your knowledge base improvement. Thank you, everyone.